It's All Good and Then Some is not about me personally, but it's more so about that family wealth, creating that generational wealth. And it's about creating that empire for the family so our children's children won't have to go through the struggle. And so that's what it's about. Place it in there.
Hello there. Thank you for tuning in to the Incline with Crystal. I am here at the New Black Wall Street Market interviewing It's All Good and Then Some, Miss Sunshine, the owner of the shop. And I'm going to let Sunshine tell you what It's All Good is all about.
So It's All Good and Then Some is exactly what the name says. It's all good and then some. Give you just a little background about how the name came about. Is because God gave me the name. And he was ministering to me because I was praying. I pray about everything. And so I was praying to him about what it is that I need to do as I'm moving forward, because I was working at the church, and I was working at the church for 9 years. And I knew that my time there would be coming to an end. I just didn't know exactly when. Well, he told me. And so I was like, Lord, so many things is happening in life. And sometimes my perspective gets thrown off, and I allow things to kind of move me off of the things of him. And so he said, well, the name of your company, as a reminder, is going to be called It's All Good. And with me, it'll always be then some. I said, it's all good and then some. I said, but, He said, no matter what you're going through, because it could always be worse, it's all good. Just always tell yourself, it's all good.
Absolutely.
And so your product is going to be good. And it's all going to be good. And with me, it will always be then some. And I was like,
Now, you see how she has all of her yellow on, and her shop is really bright and colorful. And not only do the children love it, but the adults love it. It's an exciting place to come and visit, right?
Yes.
If you're feeling low, you're feeling down, come by the shop. And you'll leave here with a different feeling.
Yes.
And that's because that's how you started it.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. And me and my son initially got the business off the ground in 2021.
Okay.
And when we used to go out, just by judging everybody's reactions and stuff, he's like, Mom, you have a ministry of flavors. And
ministry
we
of
should
flavors.
deem this a cup of joy. I said, you know what, son? Royalty, his name is Royalty. I said, I think you're right. So every time they come by and they leave, they experience joy, and they leave with a cup of joy.
So talk to the viewers, for those who've never, experienced It's All Good and Then Some. Tell them what you sell, and, if they could compare it to something so they could kind of envision what's happening here at your shop.
Okay, well, actually, so we call it the dream cream. Some people compare it to a New York style Italian ice or a Philadelphia water ice, or else you can compare it to like a sorbet, a sherbet, or gelato.
It's delicious.
One of the things, yes, very delicious. Look, they said don't get half your own supply. Girl,
Right.
ooh, it's a fight.
Right.
But one of the things I like to tell customers is that, gelatos and sherbet, some of them do have dairy in it, have milk products in it. And so if they don't want any milk product and something that's vegan friendly, come over here and check out It's All Good and Then Some, because we have fresh fruit. It's all natural. It's made with water, 15 grams of sugar per 2.5 gallon bucket. We're talking 2.5 gallons, not a quart. And it's run through what we call a batch freezer. And the batch freezer is what freezes it. And therefore, there's no ice present to melt down and take away from the actual flavor of the dessert.
So if you have bloating issues or lactose issues, which a lot of people have challenges when they drink or eat foods that have milk in them.
Yes.
So you're saying no milk.
No milk. At all.
And minimal sugar.
Less sugar than a ginger ale soda. When your stomach hurt, look, you'll grab a ginger ale in a minute.
Absolutely.
Listen, less sugar than ginger ale.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So, Sunshine, I know your name is Sunshine. Tell us, really the backstory of that name, because it means something to you. I watch you come into the New Black Wall Street Market. You're bubbly. And I know some days are not that easy, but you have a mission behind that name.
I have a mission behind that name. Yes, I do. A part of it, there's so many different avenues to sunshine, and at least Sunshine Jackson, that's who I am, and I've come from a dark place, and because I come from that dark place, and because God has delivered me and allowed me to shine, that's where the sunshine came about. And so, I've survived a lot, been through a lot, and I don't look like nothing of what I've been through. And so the purpose behind who I am is the God in me always shining out.
Right.
And so it's about expressing God's love to people, whether it's a smile, whether it's a hug. They tell me, "Oh, girl, you got the hugs of life." I know it's the godly hug, right?
Right.
Not being too deep or dumb, but it's all about spreading His love and shining and bringing. Some people just need like that smile to just brighten up their day, because you never know what someone's going through.
Yeah, it comes from the higher power, higher than yourself.
Higher than me. Yeah.
Higher power, higher than yourself, which is so important because we all go through challenges.
Yes.
Talk to the viewers about, maybe some of the challenges or just how you had to stay focused at times to even develop this type of business.
So when, as I said, that I did resign from my job in 2021, when He told me to resign, because God, don't just go and resign from your job. Make sure that you are hearing from God. I can recall the day when He told me to resign, and I had tears in my eyes because, like I said, I worked at the church, and it was like a church family to me. It's like, coming in, almost like coming to Black Wall Street. It's like family, and then you get used to coming to see family, and so day in and day out, that was just where I would go, and they would, "Oh, here comes Sunshine. Hey, Elise, how you doing?" And just, that was just me, the bubbly person. And so the mere thought of leaving from the job was almost depressing for me. And I was laying in my office on my couch, and He said, "Look up. Do you trust me?" I said, "I do." He said, "Look up." And so when I looked up, on my wall, I have, "Let your faith be bigger than your fear." And He then again said, "Do you trust me?" I said, "I do." He said, "So submit in your resignation. And remember, this is family. You can always come back and visit your family.
Yes.
Don't feel like you step away, that's the end. That is not the end. As long as you're letting me lead you, you're going to always progress and move forward." And so when I did step away, it wasn't magic overnight. There was challenges.
Work.
There was a lot of work behind stepping away. There was a lot of trusting Him. There was my product is not here. So currently I have to outsource it, but I'm from up north. So I have to travel to go get it and bring it back. And so that's all the work behind, renting vehicles, getting a driver if I'm too tired to drive, making sure I got the finances as fast as the money comes in, the money is going out just as fast as it comes in. And so I want people to understand that, yes, it's a success.
We talk about that on the Incline about, overhead costs.
Oh my goodness. It's
the reality of net profit versus gross profit.
Yes.
Important to understand that, because some people, when they start businesses, right, they are excited about what they make, thinking that you can spend it how spend that money the way that you want to spend it, and it doesn't quite work like that.
It doesn't quite work that way, and I'm very transparent. Last year, I've made close to $150,000.
You hear that?
I spent out $147,000.
Wow,
that's it's
stabilizing your business. Growing your business,
growing the business,
inventory for your business,
always with the
staff,
yes. So you have to take into account all those things. Paying, I even have prepaid legal behind the scenes, so you have to think about paying for that. You've got phone service,
legal, insurance, accounting,
and you have to consider all of those things when you think about running a business. And up in the forefront, I didn't think about it, but as I was going through it, I had to begin to take notes. And so one of the things now I'm in the process of doing is establish what we call the SOPs, the standard operating procedures. So that is something that we're putting together
dropping
now.
dimes. I hope you're catching them.
And so as we putting that together, The other thing that will be included in that is the checklist, because sometimes you go through things. It's just like, oh, I forget this, I forget that. But if you got checklists,
it is so important to have checklists.
To have a checklist.
I mean, because when you're busy,
yes,
you see she is like getting it every day, right? You can tell she's waking up early. She's probably going to bed late at night.
Yes,
and it's a lot in between there. So it's important to write it down.
Yes.
Hold yourself accountable to the checklist, right?
Yes, exactly. And get it out of your head. And that's the other thing, get it out of your head and on paper, because anything can come in and push that thought or that task out of your mind.
Life distractions.
Yeah, life. Oh, so many life distractions.
You're still a mother.
Yes.
Right?
Still a mother, still a family member.
Still a family person, community advocate.
And being able to be out there and networking, because it's all about networking, with your business. You're always networking. You're always growing your business. And for me, if I'm not working, then I'm not eating. If you don't work, you don't eat. And that's the other thing about being a boss and an entrepreneur is if you don't work, you don't eat.
So let's talk about working for yourself.
Yes.
Because, when you work for yourself, you can set your own hours, but you can't.
You can't. No.
when you're serving, right?
Yes.
When you have a service or a product for customers,
yes,
there's a balance between I own this and I also have a product that I'm servicing to my customers.
Exactly.
How do you balance it?
So for me, I'm praying God and thanking Him for the help that He's sending me. I'm already giving Him thanks for the help that He's sending me. I do have my cousin who actually works with me, and she's great, Nicole. She's here. She's she's a diehard. I need more diehards like that to work with me. But it's almost like I feel like I'm an octopus. So I am, the center, but then I got all these arms. So even when I'm not here working, I'm outside working. My other business sometimes also, which I have a balloon business. So I'm running two businesses simultaneously at the same time.
But too much is given, much is required, right?
Ooh.
And I think that people feel that although you can hire help, you can enlist volunteers, but when the vision is given to you, there's a different level of responsibility always.
Yes. Always.
Right?
And you have to keep that in mind when you're thinking about a business that you're getting into. And so I have a passion for this. All my businesses, believe it or not, are surrounded around what? Joy and sunshine, because that's my passion. My passion is to bring out as much joy and give out as much joy and shine.
Light.
Yes, I want to be that light when people be like, oh, they love to see me coming and hate to see me
go.
This
is why I wanted to interview you, because I believe the same thing with the Incline Show, right? That it's not really about Crystal, but Crystal becomes the vessel for the message needed for our community.
Yes.
Right? There's someone watching who needs inspiration, right?
Exactly.
Aspiration.
Yes.
They need a push. They need a pull.
Yes.
They need someone to hold them up. They need a cheerleader. They need someone to say, yes, you can, even in all of your adversities.
Exactly.
You can do it.
Exactly.
Right? And so you mentioned earlier when we weren't shooting about going through a project management program.
Yes.
And how much you had to put into that to get to accomplish it. Tell the viewers a little about that.
So as funny as it may seem, I was almost in a project manager's role, but although you're in the role of a project manager, the behind the scenes to become a certified project manager is a whole different beast. And so it's a lot of studying. I mean, it's dedication. Consistency is the key to the breakthrough for anything. And so I had to be diligent and consistent with studying, taking on the notes, going back. I failed it the first time. Then I failed it the second time. And then I went back that third time. I said, Lord,
this is the part I wanted you to hear, right? It's not just that she went for, I know they're like, what does project management have to do with this business model? But I wanted you to hear her story about not getting it the first time, going back the second time and not getting it the second time, right?
Yes. And then that third time, God, when I prayed to him, again, you probably think, oh, she's so spiritual. I am not spiritually dumb deep, but I am a spiritually woman of God. And I trust the things that he leads me to do. And so the third go around, he said, I want you to have fun with it. I said, have fun with it.
I love it.
He said, you're too serious. And you're getting too worked up. When you go in there, I want you to have fun with it. And believe it or not, I got in there, girl, and I started singing Coco Melon. Baby shark, do, baby shark. And I'm just pushing and when I tell you, not only did I pass it, but I excelled.
Wow.
I excelled because I trusted God more than I trusted myself and my ability to get it done.
And this is what we want you to know and understand is that you got to push past your life challenges. Okay.
Yes.
You got to push past your thought process because self will give self so many excuses.
Yes.
Like you can talk yourself out
of something.
Of something that is meant for your life. You would throw yourself off of your own path by overthinking it.
Yes.
You got to get to it. You got to do it. You got to climb the incline.
You got to climb the incline and get past it. Because life is going to happen. But what do you do when life is happening?
Yeah.
And so as a good example, last quarter was a tough quarter for me because I had a lot of emotional things happening, family tragedy. So I had back-to-back deaths in my family. And I had to push through the bad quarter. I had to push through the bad loans. I had to push through it all and stay focused on the path of what God placed me on. And so he told me for this year, forward. My word for this year was forward. And then he came back and told me, stay the course. So I was like,
forward, stay the course on the incline.
On the incline. There you go. Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
So Sunshine, tell the viewers about your flavors. Like, what do you have? Dream cream.
Oh my goodness, the dream cream flavors. Look, as we get back over here to It's All Good and Then Some, let me tell you, the flavors are, the kids tell me, it's busting, Miss Sunshine. It's busting. So we got everything from banana to bubble gum to, I call them the Phantom Fudge. I got my cotton candy. I got my lemon. I got my Mango Licious, which is one of the #1 sellers on the menu. There's the sour apple, the sour watermelon, the sour grape, the lemon, and we got one called Tropics. And the Tropics is a combination of orange, pineapple, strawberry, and lemon. And together, it almost gives you like this Hawaiian punch flavor. But when I tell you it's busting, it's busting.
So I've watched customers, right? I'm just like people watching at times when they're, standing at your shop.
Yes.
From all ages. And everybody is smiling and they are super excited. It's like being at Disney. But you're at It's All Good and Then Some.
Yes. And the great thing about it is that we like it to be an experience. And so with that experience, we just don't put it in one flavor in the cup. We tell you, hey, have fun with it. Fun with it. Put different cups, put different colors in the cups. And so we do different flavors and just.
Yeah, this is really cute.
Yes. And even my display is a God-given thing.
I know. Look at the display so that when you walk up to her shop, you can actually imagine
what it is.
Yes. What you're going to be getting.
Yes. God was like, use Play-Doh. I said, Lord, I'm using slime.
I was going to say, use Play-Doh. Yes, this is Play-Doh. Can you see? When I first walked up to your shop, I was like, what in the world does Sunshine have in this cup? So it's Play-Doh, by the way.
Yes, it is Play-Doh, but it displays exactly what the flavors are without, taking it out the freezer because it is cold, so it has to stay cold.
She wants you to see it, imagine it.
Imagine what it is. And the great thing about it, because we do ship, we cater.
Really?
Parties and events. And so when we ship it out of town, we use dry ice and UPS. And so we got customers in Maryland, Indianapolis, Illinois, New York, Florida, Alabama. So, we just.
And I was reading on your website, I was snooping around, researching a little bit about your business model. And you're in other places other than the New Black Wall Street Market, right?
Yes. And so we did open up another location.
Okay.
Yes, up in Conyers, which we will officially have it open for everyone to come and see us on April 11th. We did little soft openings, but now we will officially be open on April 11th where you can come up to Conyers.
You see, this is dropped on the incline with Crystal.
Yeah.
You heard it.
Yes.
That's nice. That's wonderful.
It's just, to let people know that your dreams can come true. And
you can expand on them.
It's about expansion. Yes. So we went from being in the back of a van to working out of a 10 by 10 tent to working here at Black Wall Street in the back. Then we moved up here to Black Street in the front. And now we're at a storefront in Conyers. Yeah. So it's all about inclining it.
And that does not just happen on its own.
No.
Right?
No, it doesn't.
You have to believe.
Yes, that's the number one.
What God has given you to do.
Yes.
And work diligently at it.
Yes.
And you have to work. This is a little nugget. You have to work like you're working for someone else, don't you?
Exactly. Because if you feel like you're working for yourself, you'll get complacent.
Yeah, there's an accountability.
Yes.
That you have to have.
And so it's all about being. You have to be more accountable to yourself as opposed to, I'll be more accountable to something. Well, what about you? So you're not that important person.
Takes discipline.
Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline. Yeah, and the willingness to want to move forward. Because a lot of people get to a certain point and then they'll plateau and they'll stay there. No. God has put way more in you than you think you have. Because for me, I know if you told me way back when I was in New York, back 20 years ago, that I would be doing this and I would be a CEO of 2 businesses.
I was going to ask you, do you believe it?
Oh, I can believe it now because I'm walking in it. But back then, it's interesting because I did not grow up in the church. All right. And so I'm an individual. I don't want people to, she's a church. No, God will even bless the sinner. Look, I can tell you that myself because I was gasoline strapped to me. I'll tell you, I was terrible. But you know what? God turned me around. Yes, He did.
He can save you.
Yeah, He will save you. He turned my life around when I allowed Him to turn my life around. Yeah. And I think back to when I was just wretched, because I was wretched. And I'm not going to cover it up and dress it up. I used to say, and this is what I'm getting at, is we've got to be careful about the things that we speak and say. So I used to say, before I turn 40, I'm going to have me a house. Whatever. I ain't had no relationship with God, no nothing. The year I was getting ready to turn 40, I closed on my house down here in Georgia. And when I thought back to it, when He reminded me of that, I was like, wow, Lord. He said, I have given you the power.
Just opening up doors.
Yeah, to speak
opening the doors for you.
Yeah, I will open the door for you, but you have to speak it. I can't force you to speak. You have to speak it and believe it. And I honestly believe that.
And walk by faith, take the steps.
Take the necessary steps to make it happen. And so even with opening up, it's all good and then some, it was all about taking the necessary steps. All right, do my research as far as researching the business that He had given me. Okay, so now go online, do your research to find out about how the product will do. Okay, so what is it going to take for you to open up? So all these are the things that you have to write out and do a checklist to check off of all the different steps that you're going to need to run your business. You're going to need an EIN number. You're going to, first things first is to research the business name to make sure that it's available. And
absolutely.
Once He gives you that name, and if it's available,
a dime she's dropping.
Yes, and you do that on the Secretary of State, Georgia Secretary SOS. I call it the SOS help. Yes,
Secretary of State's website. Yes,
and you go in there and you research the name to make sure the name is available, and then you pay your fee for that because everything comes with fees. So be prepared to pay the different fees for the things that you're going to need, and getting your EIN, which is free. And don't let nobody tell you that they have to go and pay for. You can get your EIN for free. Just go online.
Yes, there's a lot of things that you can do for minimal cost. Yes. You just have to do them yourself.
Do them yourself.
Now, if you're okay with hiring someone to set up your business structure, there are plenty of business models who will handle that for you. But I'm like Sunshine, I just about did everything myself
on your own,
including the accounting.
Even the accounting.
Before I was able to hire an accountant,
yes.
I was doing my own accounting.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, and I think it's important. I think it's important that we do a lot of the foundational work because you need to value the process so that when you do hire someone to help you, you kind of have an understanding of what they're doing.
And that's the key right there. you know what they're doing. They may not think that you know, but you know. So you're able to go back and look and say, well, this don't look right. Oh, what are you saying? No, this don't look right. Hold on, wait a minute.
The accountability.
Being accountable. Yes.
Absolutely. Because, so many people in business these days, you kind of get hurt by people who may not do the best by your business model.
Yes.
So you want to make sure you may not know everything they know, but you want to know some of what they know.
Yes.
As it pertains to your business.
Exactly.
And there's really no excuse not to know because the internet is full of education for any business model, right? So like Sunshine mentioned, you said I had to research it.
Yep. It was all
right?
about
I need to research this industry.
Yep.
Also, your competition
and my competition. Look, there ain't no competition. Look,
I love
it.
It.
Pop my collar. There's no competition. Once you have this, once you have this is the best. You ain't got to think about
I love it. I love it. Well, Sunshine, thank you so much for being on the Incline with Crystal. I hope that by watching you have been inspired, right, in your business model. It may not be Sunshine's business model, but there's plenty that she said that you can take and climb up the incline. I'll see you the next time. Take care. Bye.